Namaste, Galaxy Seed family. Welcome back to my channel, Indigo Angel. Welcome if you're new. If you're returning, go ahead and put a like on this video and hit the notifications bell. So this is going to be a message for the Divine Masculine Hydra Collective, because Hydra's mythology is making her way up to the conscious collective, and many Divine Masculines are really resonating with this as their origin. Having this origin directly in their birth chart and really tuning in to the encryption, the mythology, feeling the depth of this lineage, feeling the truth of this lineage, feeling this extend all the way to Indus Valley, okay? Divine Masculines are really responding to the Hydra archetype. So what does this mean when a Divine Masculine has the Hydra encryption, the energy signature, the origin in their chart? What does it mean? Because we all know how deep Hydra is. We all know the depth of the Hydarian divine feminine wounds, and we really know what this means on a greater mythological level planetarily as well. All of the density structures that Hydra represents. So this is coming up, and Divine Masculines are resonating with it. Now, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about Hydra, galactic history. So if you are a Hydra starseed, Hydra is a serpent hominoid lineage starseed origin. Okay, it's not a dragon. It's not anything other than a serpent. So we do like to classify this as the Cobra bloodline. Hydran souls, Hydran energy signatures, Hydra, those carrying the book of souls in their eyes, okay? This originated, and I say the book of souls in their eyes because this is what Hydras, they do. They hold this intensity where you can see the depth of everything you are to the infinitive point of creation in their eyes. It is like you go down into the depth of them. But essentially, their soul group originated from the Hydra super colossal cluster in the Laniakea larger local group, lying very close to the Great Attractor. This colossal galaxy cluster is right within a lot more influential spectrum than the Milky Way is to the Great Attractor. Okay, so Hydra's really feeling this energy, and its home is a massive cluster of galaxies with a large gravitational force, causing all matter to have a bulk flow. So it's a very strong, it would being close to the Great Attractor, it would just have a stronger flow. And I also believe you can see the Hydra cluster through the Hydra constellation as well, if you had a really amazing telescope. The cluster does span 10 million light years and has an unusual proportion of dark matter. Why is that? The mother matter, or what is called the koilon. Okay, so this antiparticle quality, right, where Hydra births from the underworld, Hydra being the gatekeepers of the underworld, right? It only makes sense that that this galaxy would have an unusual proportion of dark matter, right? So if you're a masculine with this origin, you would be considered the King Cobra bloodline, and this extends from several creational stories throughout human history, brought forth by its representatives of the Hydarian Council, okay, Alphard, Gamma Hydrae, Sigma Hydrae, Beta Hydrae, Epsilon Hydrae, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of council members of the Galaxy Nation that have come forth to represent them here on Earth. So many have come forth to represent and speak for this galaxy signature. So two that I had tuned into relatively, that I want to deliver messages for now, and this message is that I tuned into Wasp 25, Wasp 26, and Wasp 84. These are intense exosolar planets larger than our sun that are in the Hydra constellation. And they've been transmitting messages of an insect apocalypse that's going to be aggravated by the wasps. Okay, I've been seeing this collectively as I tune more into universal ancestral history. The mutation that these species have gone under. This is a pre-ancestral connection between hydras, snakes, and wasps. And I had no clue about any of this until the wasp was channeled through my hydran energy. And so this all came through, and then bam, of course, you know how it all aligns like that. But this class of the wasp is said to go back 480 million years. The wasp lineage is related to alder flies and snake flies. Okay, they are of the same relation. The wasp and the snakefly ancestors, they were very small. And this also indicates that the lineage has passed through a miniaturization bottleneck. So it's the highest form of adaptive radiation, and they survived. Okay, so these are our oldest ancestors going into the insectoid kingdom, the insectoid lineages. And this is why we must heal the scarab family line within the Osiris line. But this is within my energy update. So please see my energy update to hear more about that. But essentially, the message is that the insect collective will continue to become more agitated within the human species upon its extinction. The royal blood plasma has already been activated, and this is what calls upon the hives to sting and attack. So what's happening is there's an agitation within the earth density structures. The queen causes agitation in her, and so she emits a swarm plasma, an emotional plasma, a hypertuned quark plasma, this unstable, unstoppable plasma. And the quark plasma essentially aggravates the rest of the hive. And so this is going to be happening collectively. Wasp will continue to be more aggressive towards humans. And I don't know if you've noticed every summer, but bee attacks become more and more and more relative. And so I'm not trying to install any fear at this time. I'm just delivering messages that come through me as I tune into these stargates. And so if you feel the queen bee, if you've been activated to the queen bee, this is initiation at this time. That blood that we've seen on the landmass of Antarctica, that was royal blood. That was letting you know royal plasma has been activated. So if you've been feeling the queen bee, if you've been feeling this calling through the Hydra encryption, this is because the wasp comes from the Hydra Soul Collective Nation. Okay? I did Beyonce's birth chart. She was Hydra, 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 Hydra. But who is Beyonce? She's the queen bee, right? Okay, so, that all ties into this. But I wanted to send this message to the Hydra masculines today. And if you are a Hydra divine feminine, this message is for you as well. If you are with a Hydra as your mate, as your twin, as your soulmate, then this message is for you as well, because it's important to understand the one that you're with. Basically, Hydra masculines, you were the first expression of man born from rhythm and sacred sexuality. Okay, so it wasn't just a get it on whatever situation when you incarnated. Okay, you were conceived through higher levels of Tantra. Your soul came into the cosmic womb from a higher astral order of lovemaking. Your parents were most likely indigos, or they were fourth and fifth density, achieving out-of-body experience to bring your soul in. Okay, you were attracted through this union. So back in the Aegean world, in human form, okay, the Hydran Starseed, the Hydran priest, were also technically considered bull god priests as well. And in this Aegean world, these were the ones who had demigod potential. So demigods keep coming up as well within this collective, that they have the potential, and that in the future, along with this millenniarism that we're going to see unfold post the apocalyptic coronavirus, okay, the release of the pestilence seal, we're going to see this millenniarism of this new age apocalyptic religious movement and an uproar of more cults and things of this nature. Okay, we're also going to see we're going to see initiations of the demigod, and you're going to see this casted upon as evil. And there's going to be a lot of uproar and a lot of hatred for this. So you're going to see this in some portions of the collective. But there will be demigods that begin to present. So I don't know, this is just coming through this Hydra energy, so take it for what it is. But essentially, Hydran masculines, they were chosen and they were initiated by the highest in the goddess. Okay, so a lot of times throughout their lives, it will be the goddess who initiates them the highest into the spiritual kingdom throughout their life. Now, does this happen for other star seeds? Yes, it does, right? Just within the divine feminine, divine masculine role, masculines are constantly being initiated through the feminine because we hold the gateway to the spiritual kingdom. We hold that rite of passage. The spiritual realm is felt through the feminine, right? But essentially, for a Hydra masculine, they are typically taken on and chosen by a very high level initiate priestess. They are taken on and they are of a higher order, so to speak, not in higher, lower, but in that the intensity, the rhythm. Okay, there's a lot more that's going to go into the magic because of what Hydra represents, right? So also, Hydra males were subordinate. So they know the role of subordination when it comes to the priestess. So they stay subordinate to the priestess until they are initiated, until they are called a priest. Your first initiations were under the matriarchy rulership. Okay, so some of the greatest times that you were existing on this planet, into your planetary Akashic records, into the energetic field of all simultaneous experience, into the book of matriarch rulership, when you had lived, you were amongst the men, the waves of masculine initiates that were under this matriarchal rulership. You were trained under this. And because of this training, see, whenever you learn, anytime that you are taken upon for high-level spiritual initiation in any timeline, this is what gets put in the scrolls. This is what your higher self revisits to remember, is these particular times where you were trained of the highest order, where you were trained of essentially the greatest initiates that ever lived, right? Okay, so you were trained under this during a matriarchal rulership, and you desire this in your heart of hearts. You desire this all the time. So Hydran masculines treat their women as if they are above them. They worship them, right? There's a lot that the masculines can learn from a Hydran starseed. A masculine Hydran starseed is how to place the woman in a space that she can create all of her magic, all of her altars, all of her things. The serpent Cobra King will support this. They will rise her up on a pedestal. They will worship the goddessry that she creates because it's a masterpiece to them. This is what they originally trained in the highest order. Okay, your loyalty, masculine King Cobra bloodlines, very loyal, eternal loyalty. Okay, this is the highest order of loyalty. Yeah, they're very fond of the feminine righteousness, just expressing herself. And overall, they usually immediately support her. So the Hydran masculine is very, very important to divine feminine collective healing. All masculines are important to divine feminine collective healing, but the divine masculine has to be dedicated to assisting the feminine with her healing, because this recognition, this initiation, this act has to happen, because if not, we are one another's mirrors. It just continuously keeps reflecting and projecting back and forth. You absorb the pain, but you're not invested in the healing. Okay, so if you're not invested in the healing, then there's just basically no... So Hydra and divine masculines are committed to the divine feminine's healing. They're committed to it on a deeper level. They were the ones that were, incarnated through the identity, the soul essence of Tiamat, the primordial goddess of the sea, heaven and earth, forming from her body the monstrous embodiment of primordial chaos. Okay, the Hydra masculines were they are attuned to the radial star encryption that takes in the embodiment of all of the dark goddess, Kali, Lilith, Hecate, Maeve, Morrigan, Sekhmet. Okay, they were born with her in their eye. Okay, all of that lives within their eyes. The dark goddess, the rage, it's within them already. They are of the same soul. They are the same soul. So the Hydra masculine somehow really identify with this. They take comfort in this. They don't really necessarily fear her fury, because there is no fury greater than the fury that they already know. So that's why they can be supportive. That's why they're willing to dance with her fire. Okay? They're calming her raging flames. So they see through all of the dark contemporary archetypes, the prostitute, the whore, the bitch, the slut, the fatherless, the single mothers, okay? The feminist bitch, the woman using welfare, the drugged out alcoholic trick. I mean, I don't know if we're going to take it that far, but I mean, all of these really dark contemporary goddess archetypes, you can call them goddesses. Yes, you can. They are the witches that run amongst the fucking wilderness of society with their fucking shoes off, howling out the moon shit. The dark contemporary woman, the uncontrollable wild woman. Okay? Hydra masculines, you have saved her 1,000 times. If only for 1 minute. You have saved her 1,000 times, if only for 1 minute. Hydra masculines, you take in all of her pain, her rejection, her abandonment, her persecution, her crucifixion, her burns from being stinged at the fire. Hydra masculines, you somehow committed to healing the feminine in her famine, her darkest hours, and her shadow. Hydra masculines collect the energy for all of this fiery planetary release of rain and fire. They're a part of their transmutation, and they are the regeneration of this. Okay? So it's deep. All of this is so, so deep. Hydra masculines, you are reincarnational slowing of your skin. So you are taking a new formation all the time. You quickly slip and alter through multiple identities. The 48 genetic grail retrieval is just a no-brainer to you. It already is. You are camouflage. You can slew. You shed your identity often. You don't often hold a lot of identity as well. Okay? But yet you are not afraid to use your power or your strengths. You are a hissing Hydra. Things piss you off a lot. You're very sensitive. You're expressing yourself through the devotion of all kinds of snake deities. You're a collaboration of this throughout Africa, throughout Australia, ancient Egypt. The sun god Ra has a cobra around the sun. Wadjet, the serpent goddess. We have the indigenous Americans, the serpent mounds. The Incans and the serpent temples. The overall global devotion to the serpent, it's basically expressed everywhere you look. And this is embodied in how you feel about yourself and how you see yourself in everything. In Cambodia, in India, the Nagas, Shiva with the cobra wrapped around his neck dancing, okay? You are destruction. This is why the Hydra feminine, the Hydra starseed female would be so alluring to you. You are probably one of the only ones that could handle this kind, so to speak. Okay, so it's a lot to carry the largest constellation extending across Spica to Regulus. It's a lot to carry the largest constellation in the sky as your origin, right? You are the biggest fish in the sea. You're spread across the southern portion of the equatorial ecliptic plane. You're rising up from density 2 and you're guarding the gates of the underworld. You are a gatekeeper. Hydra and masculines are gatekeepers. So just know, Hydra masculines, it's a part of your mission as a galactic, as a starseed, as an indigo, as an empath, as a crystal, as a starseed, as a galaxy seed, whatever. You came to be an absorber of her pain. And it doesn't matter if she's a Hydra starseed or not, any starseed origin, any divine feminine, Hydra masculines, you came to be the absorber of her pain. You came to be transmuters, rhythmic enough to calm the venom that flows through the divine feminine veins. You came to be a cross, okay? You came to be her cross, the cross that she has to bear. You came to be the snake charmer. So Hydra masculines, you are the snake charmer, and you are the divine counterpart to the matriarchal rule, okay? There is a level of initiation here in that. So I love you guys so much. I hope you took from this message everything that you needed and left the rest. Don't let it continue to circulate in your reality field if you did not resonate with it. If you felt that static, then go ahead and release that energy and make sure you're staying high on the wave pattern as a point of consciousness, as a point of awareness, flowing through all the frequency fences and all of the infodemic, the pandemic of the coronavirus, all of that shit. I hope that is just washing, cleansing, clearing right through you while you maintain your immunity and stay really high vibrational through this time. Once we get on the other side of this, everything's amplifying by 1,000. Everything is going to start containing 1,000 of anything. And so that's how our new realities are going to be. They're going to be heightened. They're going to be on top. So when you're on top, you're going to be on top. This year, 2020, once we get through this collectively, this density, this satanic static that's rolling through density structures right now, once we get through all of this, we are going to exponentially rebound into a point of heightened bliss. And so I'm really waiting for that moment. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll be back with more videos.